What's going on, y'all? So, we got the update coming up right around the corner. Well, it's already currently going on right now, but they did drop some update notes. So I want to go over those so that way you're aware, because of course there's always added things that are put into the stuff. Of course, we know like the flat out the 100 updates coming, the 100 updates, but there's always a bunch of additional things that they put in these, and I want to go over this and kind of let you know things to be highlighted. I'm not gonna go over the whole thing, but there's some things that popped out that I definitely want to bring to your attention. But first, be sure to like and subscribe. It helps out tremendously. Thank you very much. So as you see here, the maintenance did start early today because, of course, they got a lot going on here. They're putting a lot in here, and they have a whole list of updates here that I kind of want to just pop over real quick. So that way you're aware of certain things, and so that way you can be on the lookout for certain things. Firstly, is this baby right here. The active skill adjustments reduce the cooldown time for active skills that occurs at the start of quests. So this we knew about in the headline, but I want to re-emphasize this because some of y'all may have not watched my video where I went through all this stuff and highlighted these things that you really need to know. Because, instead of just running through the whole thing, I highlight the things that you really need to know. But in case you didn't, then now you see this here. So understand that all this active skills will be reduced. I believe they said they're all reducing to like 10 seconds. I believe that's what they said across the board. Now, it doesn't say that here, so that could be different. But from the wording that was in the headline, pretty sure they said they're all being reduced to 10 seconds. So, so think for like shift to D-band, how recently with Tekker, that got changed to it's 10 seconds across the board now when you start a quest. So think about that. So now all these other active skills will be receiving that same thing for other classes. Below here, you'll find all the 100 adjustments, which we're not going to go over. I'll scroll down them so you can see them on the screen, but we're not going to go over them on here because you can go ahead and look through this stuff. There will be lots of videos that will be released highlighting the 100 changes, whether it's sword or partisan or wire. So there's no reason to really just go over this one by one when you have access to this. You can see it here. You can see these changes. Of course, I'm looking at the wire ones most primarily, because that's the weapon I like to play on Hunter. I would like to play some partisan as well. I'm not too big on the sword, so especially at least a lot of people play sword. I tend to like to play the weapons that no one really cares about because I like to maximize to see, if are they really bad or can I really pull out the maximum potential of them. Nonetheless, though, these are all those changes that you will see from these weapons in these classes, well, for Hunter, that we will be getting at the end of this maintenance, as well as take our customizations here for partisan adjustments. As you can see, the following adjustments will be made to the partisan tech arts customizations for thrusting javelin. And one thing I did want to highlight here was this right here. Change the specifications for the special armaments M.A.R.S. so that the weapon action of the weapon you are currently using will be performed when pressing the weapon action button while M.A.R.S. is equipped. Now, if I'm reading this correctly, it's saying that is going to use the weapon action of, so if you have a rifle, you know how rifles weapon action is a slide thing, then is it essentially saying that your weapon action is going to be the slide thing instead? Obviously you're not going to farm a grenade, but I think that's what it's saying. I'm not exactly too sure what they mean by this. I mean, we'll know soon, but from how it's worded, that's kind of what it looks like it is. It's looking like the weapon action will be exactly what it says. Weapon action of the weapon you are currently using. So I don't think that it's saying that like weapon you're currently using in regards to the M.A.R.S type weapon that you're currently using, because they would just use M.A.R.S again. So I believe that's what that implies, but we shall see in due time. But I definitely want y'all to keep an eye on that, because that's definitely a difference change maker, taker, shaker, baker on the Laker, flaker, getting on the, anyways. Now down here in the question fields, they have some changes here. Of course, a new sector has been added to the Lissil Exploration Alpha Environmental Testing Zone Survey. However, do keep in mind that while this new sector has been added, the updates for Lissil aren't actually happening, I don't believe, until later on in the month, because they occur at the same time that we get the new units, which is later on in the month. But the new sector will be there. Now, you do see these right here. Added drop items for Battle of Purple Alien Intruders, and for rank 8 of Ordinal Tower. Now, I'm not sure what this actually would be. If this is maybe, with the possibility of the 12 to drop in these, or if maybe it's the possibility of the materials for the Acrocilio to drop in these. I'm guessing it's probably one of those two or both. Maybe more likely for the materials, because unless they're adding a new rank of purple, which they're not, then I don't think it would make a whole lot of sense to put the 12 in there. But I'm not sure. But I would imagine it's one of those two, but we'll see. But I definitely want to point this out so you're aware of it, to keep an eye on it. Also down here, but not really a big deal, they also changed the drops for Lucille to be Endemios and removed all these gold prim items. So that way it clears up your space a little bit, but that's not really a huge deal anyway. And then we got my sweet baby Zovers. Y'all know I love me my Zovers, y'all. So now we're getting the CVs. So if you're not familiar with the CVs, you're not familiar with the Zovers, you know, of course, the Zovers have the Star Wars, the lightsabers. So that's for all like the melee types, like the double saber and daggers and swords and stuff like that. They're the lightsabers. So the CV, when the Zover first came out, the CV, depending on the weapon that you were using it for, it was a different color. So like for instance, the daggers I believe I had were green, but I think some of the other ones were like purple or some others are like different colors. So now we have access to the CV variants, which are going to be in the ARCS badge record shop for us to dilly dally, swilly swally play with. So I'm excited about that. We all know I love my Zovers. You'll also notice right here that the item details descriptions for the following items have been changed: the Alpha Reactor, Beta Reactor, Stellar Fragment, Snow. So they have changed the item description of these to simply like really easy to understand, which they changed the description to sell this gives you money. So I'm joking. That's probably not what they changed it to. But that's what these are used for. You literally just convert these. That's the only purpose for these in the game, is converting them to Meseta. So that's what the description really should say. It's like, yo, you convert these, you get Meseta. Boom. I mean, like, no reason to make it complicated, right? It's like, yo, they're targeting a very casual audience anyway. I'm just saying. But anyways, nonetheless, they changed this, so look out for that description change. This was also mentioned in the headline, but I want to reiterate it and re-emphasize it, that added a specific specification for the AC shop that allows players to receive a gift once per day for visiting the shop while limited time items are available for purchase. So remember to do this. So basically they showed it, you'll see an icon saying that there's a limited time for the AC shop. So if you just go to the AC shop, just click on it, you don't have to purchase anything. Just go to it, you will get limited time items. They say NEX cubes in there. So you will get once per day, like 2 NEX cubes or something like that. There's no reason not to get that for free, just by going and clicking on it. There's no reason not to get it. So go get it. So just letting you, putting that back in your mind, so that way you know, because that's free NEX cubes that you can get, and there's no reason not to have them stacked up. No reason when they're free. You also notice down here the storage expansions, and of course this added 9 and 10 star rarity armor to Autosell items under Autosell drop items. Now, last but not least, there's a whole bunch of bug fixes, which we're not going to go over this, but I do want to just kind of scroll down it and let y'all see just how much stuff was fixed. So they definitely have been hard work at kind of fixing things here, which is always good to see. And I did kind of highlight these down here, where they fixed the bug with Gunner class stylist raw arts, where the increased PP cost effect of the tech arts customization would sometimes be applied under certain conditions, something similar to a Hunter Arts Avenger, where the effect would sometimes not activate when the player was attacked immediately after taking damage from status elements, etc. As you can see, there's an assortment of things that were fixed here, whether it's line strike, whether it's background music, whether it's things with the captain and the emperor that we saw before, whether it's Darkfall Solus, Ruin Masquerader, where the attack direction players, guard direction would sometimes not match. There's an assortment of things that were fixed here that you should be looking at, whether sometimes the tri-shield would not register these notifications of damage. So there's a handful of things that were fixed here, which is always good to see within these bug fixes. So do be sure to check some of this stuff out if you want to see everything in detail, or you can just kind of just pause the video and just read everything, because I just scroll through the whole list for you. So that's always an option as well. But nonetheless, it just goes to show that, you know, they are continuously trying to improve things, quality of life things, which is always great, which of course rounds me out to the very last thing that we want to just kind of highlight there, which of course you go back up, and that is the personal shop. So of course, as of this maintenance, the personal shop will be updated from 30 to 50 that you can place on there, which gives you 20 more slots to make money, which is always great, always super great. Nonetheless, we're looking forward to all the changes. Remember, this is the level cap 100 update. This is the Hunter update. This is the Dark Falls Veil update. So we are going to be diving in. We're going to be having fun. We're going to be, I don't know, exploding like a big old egg that you place in the microwave, because you shouldn't cook eggs in the microwave. you know, they'll split. They'll literally split. They'll do that. At any rate, be sure to like, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Much love. Holla. Spike content.